There was once a woman named Asha. She had always believed in kindness, in the power of faith, and in the idea that good people would eventually find happiness. But as the years passed, she began to wonder, was God even listening to her prayers? Asha was born into a poor family in a small village. Her father worked as a farmer, struggling against the changing seasons, while her mother spent endless hours weaving fabrics to sell in the marketplace. Though they had little, their home was filled with love. But life has a way of taking away what we cherish the most. One stormy night, her father came home drenched, coughing violently. A few weeks later, he was gone. Her mother, already weak from years of hard work, soon followed. Asha, barely 14, stood in front of two freshly dug graves, the weight of loneliness pressing on her chest. At an age when most children dream of their future, Asha was left to survive on her own. There was no time for grief, no space for self-pity. She worked for the neighbors, cleaning homes and washing clothes just to afford a single meal. Asha scrubs clothes in cold water. Her hands are red and swollen, but she keeps going. The other village women whisper about her, pity in their eyes. Poor girl, they say. No family, no future. But Asha refused to believe that. Years passed, and she grew into a beautiful young woman, strong, resilient, but still carrying the scars of her past. When a kind-looking man named Rahim proposed to her, she thought maybe, just maybe, God was finally giving her happiness. She said yes, hoping this was the beginning of something better. Rahim sits at the table, his head in his hands. Asha places a plate of food before him, but he pushes it away angrily. Why is life so unfair? I work day and night, yet we remain poor. Maybe if I had married someone else, things would have been different. Asha felt her heart shatter, but she swallowed her pain. She had survived wars, hadn't she? She worked harder, took extra jobs, did everything to keep their small home together. But nothing was ever enough. One day, Rahim left. No explanation. No goodbye. Just an empty house and a heart full of unanswered questions. Asha had lost everything. Again. But this time, she didn't break. Instead, she picked up a needle and thread. Asha stitches fabric late into the night, her eyes heavy with exhaustion, but her hands steady. Over time, her work improves. Her designs become admired, her craftsmanship respected. One by one, orders started coming in. First, from neighbors, then from townspeople, then from merchants. Asha, the girl who once had nothing, now had something she had built with her own hands. But her journey was not just about success. Asha watches a young girl, much like her younger self, begging in the marketplace. She approaches her, takes her hand, and leads her home. She remembered what it felt like to be alone, to be hungry, to feel abandoned. So she opened her doors to women who had nowhere else to go. She trained them in sewing, gave them shelter, and helped them find purpose. Years ago, Asha had questioned God. Why do I suffer? But now, she finally understood. Every struggle, every tear, every heartbreak had been preparing her, not to break, but to rise. She thought God had forgotten her. But all this time, He was shaping her into someone who could help others. We often question our struggles, wondering why life is so unfair. But sometimes, the pain we endure is simply the path to a greater purpose. God's plan is bigger than our suffering. Moral of the story: life's struggles are not signs of abandonment, but of preparation. Every setback is a setup for a greater purpose. God's plan is bigger than our pain, and in the end, we will understand why we had to walk through the fire. If this story touched your heart, like, share, and subscribe for more. Remember, your struggles today are shaping your strength for tomorrow. Trust the journey.